Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now we're going right back into r/talesofneckbeard, but beforehand be sure to like the video, comment down below what you like about the video during the video, and afterwards consider subscribing. Alright, let's go. Our first story comes to us from username Project Relic. Neckbeard harasses my D&D character and thinks we've been dating for 2 years. Just a disclaimer, a lot of this story takes place in a tabletop role-playing game, so when I'm describing things that our characters are doing rather than things we IRL are doing, I'll be speaking in the third person and using our characters' names to avoid confusion. I think it's important to differentiate because role-playing a rude, oblivious, problematic character is very different from actually being one, but I think it also adds a lot to the story, so I'm not gonna leave it out. The story is also hella long, but I had 2 years worth of story that I had to condense, and I did my best to only tell the most relevant stuff. Sorry. I'll have to say, I'm honestly looking forward to this D&D story. This whole story started about 2 years ago. Me and a group of friends started playing a tabletop RPG. I'd hate to call it D&D because it's really not. We used a lot of aspects from a lot of different RPGs, so it's really a homebrew game that closely resembles D&D. We wrote all of our campaigns that we played ourselves, but none of us were great at the DM role. Enter our Neckbeard. I'll call him C. I didn't know C that well at the time. He seemed nice enough. He was obviously lonely and didn't have many friends, to the point that he actually offered to pay people to hang out with him. We had a few of the same interests, and I was always drawn to people who seemed like they needed someone there for them, plus he said he was a great DM, so after consulting the rest of the party, he became our default. Things started out fine. I got a bit of a creepy vibe from him solely because this dude was hella tall and skinny, taller than me by 1 foot and 2 inches, and anytime he talked to me, he would stand way too close to me and lean over so that his head was directly over mine. It really weirded me out, but whatever, everyone's got a weird quirk. The rest of the party started to get uncomfortable when they realized he was pretty heavily flirting with me in and out of character. I didn't realize or think anything of it because I tend to hate myself a lot and don't really see why people would flirt with me. Looking back on it now, it seemed pretty obvious. He would have every NPC drawn to my character automatically, and he would obviously fudge rolls while in battle to hurt me less or completely ignore my character entirely, despite being the closest to the enemy. Out of game, he would talk about how it was nice to have a cute girl that liked the same cartoons and anime as him, and would text me late at night to come over because he was lonely and wanted to watch TV with someone. Things started getting worse when my brother tried his hand at DMing. C was excited to actually get to play a character, and my brother was excited to share the campaign he wrote. Now, I know the first rule of tabletop is to never get too attached to one of your characters, but I have an obsessive personality, and that rule was quickly lost on me. Her name is Zell, and I've used her for so many campaigns it's not even funny. I'm incredibly attached to her, and due to being in so many campaigns, she has a very fleshed out story. She's a half-elf, chaotic neutral rogue. Trust me, this is all gonna be important. That steals everything she can. The thing that makes not such a pain in the butt for our party is that she really only steals to make a lost family member proud and values others' morals code and the respect and trust of her party more than material things. Basically, if you based her on her character archetype, she'd act very differently than she actually does. His character was a human chaotic good paladin named Kingsley, which if you know D&D, you know those two characters are opposites. Another important thing is that half-breeds were heavily discriminated against in this homebrew world, especially by humans. The thing is, he didn't behave like a chaotic good character. He would always steal and pickpocket for no reason, he would pick fights and do shifty stuff all the time, and he always did it where Zell could see. Since Zell liked people that stick to their own moral code, she instantly disliked Kingsley and grew to hate him more and more as it went on. Then one campaign, when our party was resting by the campfire one night, Kingsley confessed his love for Zell and that he'd been trying to impress her this whole time. Like I said, Zell absolutely hated this guy, and this confession made her hate him more, so when then he asked, "Do you think you could ever feel the same way towards me, Zell?" she rejected him by saying, and I quote, "Nah," and refused to talk more about it. After that, C came up to me and asked me why my character wouldn't love his, and I told him that he never stayed true to his moral compass. Now, he didn't just stop there. After I told him Zell didn't love him, he started putting his own narration in on their relationship. We'd been exploring a dark cave, and he'd say something like, "I protectively put my arm around Zell, and she leans into my touch." Like I said, I'm very protective over her character and didn't like this guy going against what he knows she wouldn't do. I'd say something like, "No, she actually pushes you away and tells tells you not to touch her again. He would jump in front of attacks that were being aimed at me and purposely stand in front of me during every battle. At this point, it wasn't just trying to control my character's actions, it was actively taking my enjoyment of the game away from me. So I asked the DM to talk to him about all his advances, and I got him to stop. He pouted for a while, but eventually left it alone, until a few sessions later. After one session, we were all talking about other campaigns we were involved in, and I mentioned that in my other campaign, Zell was catching feelings for my friend's character that wasn't in this party yet. They had a strong bond as friends and partners, and I was planning on bringing it up next session. C got really quiet and just left without saying anything else. Fast forward a few sessions, and my friend that Zell was catching feelings for joins the party. C immediately hates this guy, hates his character and him IRL for no reason. Kingsley had been treating Zell bad ever since she rejected him, but it amped up once my other friend joined the party. He started forcing her into bad positions during battle, tried to frame her for stealing, and would actually threaten harm on her every time they disagreed. He started to call me and my friend's characters slurs or for half-breeds, him being a half-orc, instead of our names. He literally wouldn't call my character by her name. One of our party members would say something like, "Oh, why don't you ask Zell about that?" He'd say, "Who? Oh, you mean the Mutt?" Other lovely nicknames included Mongrel, Halfy, Half Bad, Half Good, Halfway, Not Enough, and Scumbreed. How charming, right? You can pass most of that off as roleplay, even if it's a little mean-spirited, but then he actually tried and came close to killing my friend character the same session he joined because he looked at him funny. Zell stopped it, but my friend was rightfully pissed and didn't play with us again. Honestly, this group lost interest in tabletop slowly over the next few months, including C, and only a few of us, including myself, still play to this day, but that's not where the story ends. Mine and C's relationship got better after we stopped playing tabletop together, but we still never really got close. I would talk to him when I saw him and text him every now and then, and things were chill. Then our friend group decided to go to a nearby con. Now, like I said, this dude is so tall and skinny, and he's also paler than a ghost. So naturally, our nickname for him was Slenderman. He absolutely hated this nickname. He didn't mind us calling him that when it was just our group, but when we were with anyone else, he would get pissed if you'd call him that. We would make jokes about him cosplaying as Slenderman a lot, and he would always say he would never. Then I made the decision to cosplay as a female Masky to this con. Don't judge me, I stand by the fact that Marble Hornets is one of the greatest internet series and ARGs ever made. For those of you who don't know, Masky is a proxy for Slenderman. He is under his control and does any and all of his bidding. Basically, he's a slave to Slenderman. After I told C this, he was all for cosplaying Slenderman and even bought a wife morph suit before something came up and he couldn't go to the con. He would also offer to pay me money to forgive him anytime we had a mild disagreement about something instead of just talking things out with me. This happened like 10 or 11 times and I wouldn't even be actually mad about whatever we were talking about. Now yes, all of these stories are weird, creepy, and neckbeardy, but I wouldn't be writing all of this out if it didn't have a big finish. So about 3 months ago was C's little brother's graduation party and me and my brother were invited. I've met C's mom and she's actually really sweet, but I had never met his dad before. I went up to go and meet his dad and we talked for a few minutes and that was the end of it. The day after the party, I get a text from one of the other members of our tabletop party who is pretty close to C and I guess talks to his dad quite a bit. He texted me saying, "Hey, did you and C start dating?" I said, "No, why would you ask?" There was a long pause and he finally messaged me back and said, "Well, then you should really know that he told his dad you were his girlfriend last night." I was pissed. I called C, but he didn't answer and instead hit me up with a "can't talk right now, what's up?" text. Whatever, I didn't mind doing this over text. Why did your friend just text me saying that you told your dad we were dating? No reply, so I texted again. "C, why did your friend just text me that you told your dad we were dating? Are we not?" Oh my god, you are joking, right? See, you've got to be joking. We've never once been on a date, nor have you ever asked me on one. Not that I would have mattered because I don't like you like that. Why would I tell your dad the day that I met him that I'm your girlfriend? "I'm really sorry, I'm just confused. What do you mean you don't like me like that? I really thought we had something. If not a relationship, then at least a mutual interest or tension or something." See, if you thought that, why wouldn't you have asked me about it? Again, no answer, so I asked, "Okay, so if you really thought we were in a relationship, then when was our first date?" Long pause, and then his answer. "Well, I kinda thought our sessions with Zell and Kingsley started things off." "See, please tell me you're lying." I'm not. Kingsley had feelings for Zell because I had feelings for you. That was 2 years ago, see? You've been thinking we were dating for 2 years? You thought that all this time you spent harassing, belittling, and yelling racial slurs at my character and actively trying to murder other characters that I liked in-game was the start of our 2-year-long relationship? You've been my friend for a while and I care about you, but this is ridiculous. You belittling my character back then after rejecting you in a game showed you didn't respect me. You offered to pay me money to forgive you every time we disagreed instead of talking things out showed you didn't respect me. And now you doing this and telling your dad we're dating when you never once asked me out about it shows you don't respect me. I have no idea how you ever thought this was okay. I mean, yeah, I said some ugly things in that game, but it was just because my character was angry at you for rejecting him. I was just trying to stay in character. I just thought we connected in a special way, and I just had the different idea than you. We just have a lot in common, and I think we should give us a try. I'm not dumb, see? I know that wasn't just you staying in character. That was you being mad at me for rejecting your character. But I don't care about that anymore. It was a stupid game and that we played 2 years ago and haven't even talked about it since. Look, I'm sorry you're so confused about this. I don't know how you're confused about it, but I'm really sorry that you have the wrong idea. So I'm gonna lay this all out for you. I don't like you. I don't know what you're thinking of us having something special is. Us liking a lot of the same things isn't a special connection. Conversation about the latest Miraculous Ladybug episode or Red Hood and the Outlaws issues aren't gonna carry a relationship. I'm sure this is embarrassing for you because it is for me too, but if you want, we can still be friends and work through this, but you're gonna tell your dad the truth first. Okay. Come on, man, at least act like an adult. I just don't get it. We have so much in common. That's literally the beginning of a good relationship, but you're still saying that that's not a reason to be interested in each other? But I can see you're not into this, so fine, I'll fix it. I said it wasn't a reason to think we had something special. You and I wouldn't work because I don't like you as anything more than a friend. I'm sorry, but that's never gonna change. Okay, I'll tell my dad. Thanks. Mind you, this man is 22 at this point. We're both grown but adult. I'm not gonna say that, I'm censoring stuff, you know. That was the end of that conversation, and honestly, the end of me and C. I still see him and hang out because we're in the same friend group still, but we don't text and we don't really talk even when we're together anymore. The few times we do talk about the things we mutually like, and it's only a few sentences long, I can tell he's still mad at me when we talk, but I honestly don't care. I'm just glad I can enjoy tabletop without him now. I'm honestly still surprised that that whole thing lasted 2 years, but at the same time, I never really understood why neckbeards feel the need to make it their mindset of an official relationship just because you hang out with them once. Like, that's gotta be confusing. Our next story comes to us from username Poleto. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Fight me. I did not know we were dating. Okay, so this is a quite funny story about a long neckbeardish encounter. Me and my ex-husband ended our relationship in June 2017. I took my time to heal, and by summer 2018, I was, let's say, a little crazy ready. I, like a newbie I was, decided to subscribe to an online dating app to eventually find someone for long-term, but also for messing around. Red flag, everyone. Being ready is not your friend when it comes to detect the neckbeard. So I met one guy, nothing happens, sadness. I met another, he seems to be into me, yay! We meet up, he's talking a lot about anime/Japan and how he is basically smarter than everyone else. No job, overweight, beard, there was a package here that I did not recognize. Anyhow, I'm good to go, so we got to his place and it seals the deal. Not long, nice, but nothing sparky, 3 out of 10, we'll forget the night soon, or so I thought. Before leaving, I tell him that I don't look for anything serious like we talked during the meal before. We talk a little bit after this during the few weeks. He seems to think that we are in a relationship, which is not the case at all, as I told him before and after messing around. Oh well, he's not the same as the Chads, he can make me happy, he's a nice guy, yada yada. I sent him a not so nice message about nice guy and ghosted him afterwards. I know, of nice of me. I could have handled things better. Little did I know, I forgot we added each other on Facebook. Big mistake. 1 year later, I met my actual boyfriend. We're together since 6 months now. After a few months, we go on a weekend trip, and he posts a few pictures of it on his Facebook wall, identifying me on them. We are in our 30s, so we are not together on Facebook, but the pictures were showing we are together. I guess that's what triggered the neckbeard. A few hours later, I receive a message from him. It's been a year, we did not speak since, remember? Conversation translated as follows. So you're a slut like all of them. I have to say I did not thought of you like this. You should be ashamed of yourself, devil emojis. Excuse me? Don't try to lie to me. I saw the pictures. You had a lot of fun freaking him on the big bed of a lot of X's. Hostile, I bet. You must be talking about me and John's pictures from this weekend. We had a great time and the museum was amazing. But how is this any of your business? Do you realize how much creepy and a jerk you are right now? Seriously, dude, you need to chill. Seriously, why are you coming back now? You're freaking crazy. I need to chill? You cheated on me and I need to chill? You're the freaking Barch here. You should be ashamed of yourself, you freaking skunk. Your son will be ashamed too for having a slutty mom. Maybe you can frick his teachers and classmates. Anyway, I'm sending a message to your boyfriend to warn him that you're a cheater. Let's see how he reacts. I have no control about my emojis. I hope he'll leave you and your son. That's all you deserve. I'll pass you the rest of the convo. I blocked him in the end, but yeah, no contact during a year, but he thought we were together all this time. Delusional. I had to have a breakup fight with somebody I did not even date to begin with. Okay, this one just honestly surprises me. You don't talk for like a year, but then all of a sudden, hey, we're in a relationship, you're cheating on me. That's just kind of confusing. Also, never use speech to text, please, for making these stories. But with that, that is going to have to be it for the video. If you had liked what you had seen, be sure to like the video, comment down below what you liked about the video, and afterwards consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye.